So give me one. Oh, there we go. Okay, got it.
Our presentation today is about the continent of Asia. If you look at the globe, can you hold the globe for us, Arush? While Arush gets the globe, please check your body. Please check your mask. Arush, can you show us the continent of Asia? Right, it's the yellow continent. Boys and girls, if we look at the continent of Asia from space, I'm sorry, I should have gotten that before.
Oh, you're fine.
Thank you, you can put it back. But this is actually how Asia looks from space. There's a rainforest, there's a desert, there are rivers, lakes. So if you are in a spaceship looking down at planet Earth and you see Asia, this is what Asia looks like. It's not yellow, right? Exactly. This is here is Saudi Arabia, that's a big desert area. This here is India. Right. China is over here, Japan is over here. Up north is very close to the North Pole, it's very cold. But down south it gets warmer. So even the climate changes. There are forests, deserts. All right. Asia is the biggest continent on planet Earth. It has 48 different countries. There are 46 billion, not million, 46 with a B, billion. Each billion is a million. So 46 billion people live on the continent of Asia. The biggest country in Asia, as far as space,
Uh-oh.
the biggest country is Russia. It's the pink country here. But the most populated country, the country that has most people, is China. So even though Russia is bigger space-wise, China has more people.
Sit in your chair,
The
please.
most populated city in Asia is actually Japan, Tokyo, the capital of Japan. This is exactly where the knob is. This is Japan, and the knob is where the location of the capital is, Tokyo. Tokyo is the most populated city. It has 38 million people. You have to be very careful not to lose any of those pieces. The Maldives is the smallest country, and Russia is the biggest country. The longest river in Asia is in China, and it's called, I hope I say this correctly, Yangtze. It's in China. It's called the Yangtze River. It's not the longest river in the world, but it's the longest river in China. In Asia, thank you. It's located in China. The tallest place on Earth, the highest place on Earth, is Mount Everest. It's part of the Himalayan mountains. Mount Everest falls between China and Nepal. And a lot of people train for years to go climb Mount Everest. It's a big deal if you ever climb Mount Everest. You have to be healthy and you have to train, and it's a very, very, very big deal if you do that. Mount Everest is about 30,000 feet above ground. The lowest place on Earth. So Asia has the highest place on Earth. And the lowest place on Earth, guess what? It's also in Asia. It's between the country of Jordan and the country of Israel. There's a little sea called the Dead Sea. It's more like a lake than a sea. The Jordan River goes through it and it ends up in the Red Sea. But it has such concentration of salt, it's saltier than the ocean. And it's so salty that nothing can live in the Dead Sea. And if you go to the Dead Sea, and I've been there many times, you just lay down, you float like a cork. You just float because it's such high density of salt in the water that people lay down on the water and just read the newspaper. And I did it, and it actually, the water is always calm, and nothing lives in the Dead Sea because it's so salty. There are no fish, there are no crustaceans, there are a lot of minerals. A lot of people collect the mud from the bottom of the sea, and they make a lot of beauty products and bathing products because they're supposed to have a lot of minerals that are good for your skin. The climate, as I said, in Asia is very diverse. It depends. If you go up north, it's very, very cold. It's close to the North Pole. If you go to the south, you're close to the equator, and it's very, very hot. In Asia, people speak more than 2,300 languages. If you take just the country of India, for example, they speak more than one language in one country. If you take the country of Israel, it's a teeny tiny country, and they speak at least 3 languages. So, as a continent, different people speak about 2,300 different languages. When people go to Asia to visit, a lot of them go to visit the Great Wall of China. It is the only man-made structure that you can see from space. And people travel to Japan to see the cherry blossom. It's a big festival in Japan. They celebrate the cherry blossom. During that season, Japanese people celebrate by making kites made of rice paper. Boys and girls, those kites are absolutely works of art. People spend months designing them. They use bamboo, and they soak the bamboo in water, they bend it, and they paint the rice paper, and it looks like works of art. I was lucky enough to see it in Central Park in New York City. They brought some of these kites, some Japanese art students that were in New York City studying art. It is unbelievable. I mean, I could totally see that people travel to Japan during cherry blossom because all these blossom trees have bright pink flowers. And people celebrate by going to picnics and flying kites. And the traditional way to make kites is with rice paper and then bamboos. Another place to visit in Asia is Taj Mahal. No, thank you. Taj Mahal is considered one of the 7 wonders of the world. It's a castle that a king built for his wife as an expression of love. It's one of the most beautiful structures in the world. There is another structure in Jordan called the Petra. It's ruins that are thousands of years old. People travel to Jordan to see Petra. A lot of people come to Asia, boys and girls, to a small country called Israel because whether you're Jewish, whether you're Christian, or if you are Muslim, Israel has a lot of holy places. If you believe in Jesus Christ, Jesus supposedly was born in Bethlehem. Bethlehem is a small city in Palestine. So you can actually go and see where Jesus was born. It's a big church. Also in Jerusalem is where Jesus Christ was buried, and there's a church. If you're a Muslim, there's the Gold Dome in Jerusalem, and that's where supposedly the Prophet Muhammad received some of the words that are in the Muslim Holy Bible called the Quran, and it's also a holy place for Jewish people. Jerusalem is an old city. When you go to Jerusalem, the cobblestones inside the city are thousands of years old. So that's another place where tourists actually come and visit. So there are a lot of places in Asia that tourists come to see. Some of the animals that live in Asia are elephants, orangutans, and Chinese river dolphins. Those three are actually almost extinct. Pandas are native to China. Pandas, yeah, I say it wrong, right? I say it's pandas.
No, you said, yeah, panda. I think he just didn't hear you.
So this is a book that has some pictures about Asia. This is a rainforest, boys and girls. So Asia is not all desert. This is a rainforest in Asia. This is Mount Everest.
That.
It's almost 30,000 feet high. They don't have a picture of the Dead Sea. Oh, maybe they do. Boys and girls, this is a picture of an oil well. So in Saudi Arabia, which is this part here of Asia, it's very rich in oil. It's not the oil that you fry French fries with. It's the oil that you put in your car, makes your car go. It's the oil that...
gas?
Exactly. That's what gas is made of. That's what makes airplanes fly. It's very expensive. You can't make it. You can't cook it. It doesn't grow on trees. You actually have to dig in the ground. Deep in the ground. And simple enough, it exists in some places and it doesn't exist in some places. You can't make it. So Saudi Arabia has a lot of oil wells. They put them in barrels and they ship them. Put your hand down, I will allow for questions. They ship them all over the world, and it's very expensive. This is the Dead Sea.
So you can see a person.
It is so salty. She's just laying down. Honestly, you can't, you know how sometimes if you're in the ocean and you want to kind of snorkel, you can't snorkel in the Dead Sea. It's just too dense. You float no matter what, like a cork. A lot of countries in Asia, rice is a staple, not bread. If you are from China, probably you don't eat bread, you eat rice. The same thing with Japan. India, they do both, right? You guys eat different kinds of rice.
Yeah.
And
I swore it was has rice.
Right.
I
This is a couple of animals that live in Asia. I think you guys know what they are. I don't have to tell you. Right. So this girl is writing in Chinese. Eric, do you know how to write Chinese? Yeah? Yes. Are you learning?
Yes.
That's very nice. You're very lucky. This is Tokyo, the most populated city in Asia. This is an interesting market, boys and girls. This is the floating market in Thailand. People don't have stores in this market. They have boats. And if they want to sell anything, they have it on the boat. And when you go shopping on that little boat. It's called the floating market of Thailand. This is the Great Wall of China.
That's amazing.
No, it's so cool.
Oh, have you been there, Eric?
I watched a
No.
movie of that.
Have you ever been to China?
Yes.
Oh, you have. He's been there. Okay.
We will allow everybody to speak. This is Jerusalem, boys and girls. It's the holy place for 3 religions. And this is Taj Mahal of India.
Yeah.
Taj Mahal is in India.
Okay.
Now it's question time. So if you have questions, you can raise
Okay.
your hand.